Good morning. Today is the 19th of September 2023 and I'm going to go over my trading plan for today, and we're going to look at some of the levels for MES, SPY, Qs and oil. Okay, so looking on my screen at the moment is the economic calendar for today. We've had news at 8:30 and there was a little bit of movement in the market. In fact, we saw a bit of a sell-off after the news, and we haven't got anything else major today. Tomorrow we've got the FOMC and the interest rate decision, so potentially we could see a lot of movement, even though I think it's pretty 99% certain there is going to be no movement, but we'll see tomorrow. So today nothing to worry about. So that's at 4:30, oil at 4:30 after market. Okay, so looking at my screen at the moment is the 1 hour ES or the MES S&P 500 futures chart, and we're looking at the 1 hour time frame. I was looking for a long position a few minutes ago, but I've just cancelled my order. I was looking for a bounce off of this area where we bounced a few times before. So there's no other positions. The only thing I'm looking at now will be once we get back into this demand zone, and I'm looking potentially for around this area, so between 45.85 and 44.90. that's the area I'm watching for, and I'm going to be waiting for confirmation as well. So with confirmation, what I'm looking for is a bit like a candle like this, bottom tail or two bottom tail candles together, and one like that would be perfect, and then wait for the break of the 2 or the 5 minute, preferably both, with confirmation. So for example, if this was the 5 minute chart, I would get in as we see that as our first sign of reversal. In fact, this is a great reversal area. You see this big sell off on Monday or Friday, I think it was Friday, yeah. The first sign on the hourly was this bottom tail there, and then we had another bottom tail next afterwards. Let's just zoom in a bit. Here we go. So this is showing exhaustion on the selling. So we had this big sell-off, and we had increase in volume on the sell-off as well. Came up with ultra high volume, that's the white candles, and then we started to get a little bit of a pullback, and then we saw another higher above average volume candle on this bottom tail, and then we had this hammer candle, which is low volume, so that's potentially a low volume test by the market movers, because there was no volume in that, or it wasn't above average volume, then the sellers were gone, and then so they had a bit of a clean up, and which was another bottom tail. So we had 3 bottom tails in a row, which would normally indicate a change of trend. There wasn't much of a change of trend, but we went sideways. But that's kind of what I'm looking for today as well. But I'll be looking for it on the 5 minute chart and the 15 or 30 minute chart. So look how messy it was yesterday. That's awful. So this is the 5 minute chart, and you can see here another good example. So we had this sell-off. This is in the the pre-market with increased volume, and then we had this bottom tail candle and a pullback. Then we had this other bottom tail candle. So confirmation would be probably on the break, and retest maybe there. That's on the 5 minute, or we can fine tune it on the 2 minute with the stop loss there. And then obviously if you took that confirmation, in fact I was in a trade there yesterday, but I was out around here, but it eventually went up to 41.15 almost. So again, that's if you just go with confirmation, then you know you won't suffer all the stop outs. On Friday I was getting into trades without confirmation, and I was trying to go long and stopping out, going long, stopping out, and the irony is the only time I was actually long, near the end of the day, I waited for, I walked away, came back about half an hour later, right, I took confirmation trades only, and that's when I actually started making profit. So anticipating, especially on these big moves down, is dangerous. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. even when the volume suggests that we're getting near to an end of a run, doesn't always mean we're near the end. So confirmation is the way to go. So we're putting in a bit of a bottom tail now on the 5-minute chart. Going to the 2-minute chart. High volume, potentially ending volume as well. That's what we're kind of looking for, but there's no bottom tail here, so that's a big strong selling candle. So there's no confirmation yet, and you can see strong selling candle with very little bottom tails. Anyway, back to the hourly. Let's get some levels in. So I'm watching this area here for bounce 44.85. That's the area I'm waiting for, with a stop loss probably just below this pivot here, 44.81.50. So that's the area I'm watching for. I could probably make this demand zone a bit bigger. If we see set weakness and we sell off, then look for a break and retest that area low as well. So 44.85 is a key area I'm watching today, and that's based on these areas of confluence and obviously the bottoms of these candles, bottoms of yesterday as well. Next on, that's a higher probability bounce as well, and it's purely because there's the area of demand. If we do break down, potentially we've got this area 44.72. I would only take the bounce on a confirmation candle. So again, like we just discussed, the bottom candle and then the break of that candle there, or even if it pulls back in, creates a double bottom. And then we've got this level. Where's this level from? In fact, I'm going to get rid of that one. And we've got quite a big gap down. So if we do break down, there is a big gap, but we have got highish volume here, and there's a lack of volume in this area. So if we do break down, this area here is a bit of a void of volume, so we could see it push right down to this area. And I suppose that level was there because I was trying to find an area of confluence between. So let's just put it back there. So I put that area back. I'll keep an eye on that. So that's probably just an area of confluence, but probably there. So just to confirm, a higher risk bounce area, a higher probability bounce area will be 44.85, and then if we get down into this area, 44.25 is another higher risk bounce area. So this is this demand, daily demand area, and it's daily demand as well. So the move, last time we were back down there, we saw this big move up. Same, we came back down, big move up. So this area will have a little bit more risk on than I would do at this area here, and that's an hourly demand area. For the higher risk plays, we could watch for a rejection. I don't know, it's so choppy. If we get up here, we've got a good chance of a decent rejection. That's 45.60 to 45.70, and 45.75 is a nice middle ground between those candles. So this is a higher probability of rejection up here. I'm thinking maybe yesterday's, let's just zoom in. Yesterday's high is a potential rejection area, and that would be 45.12, 45.10, this area here as a rejection. And so if we come back up here, we could be looking for a bit of rejection. Okay, so let's put that level in. I'm going with that area there, and I'll say why. We've got obviously the top of yesterday and the body of the candle. We've got kind of close to the tops of this area, bottoms of here, and that's when we did after that big move down. And we've got this area here, lots of tails spiking through, and bottoms here. So kind of 45.08 to 45.10, this is the area to watch for a potential rejection. So it's a wider area, so that's again would be with confirmation. Okay, so that's it really. So I've got a higher probability bounce at 45.85. The stop will be below this candle or below this pivot here. We've got a higher probability rejection up here, 45.75, 45.70, that area there, specifically the edge of the zone, 45.65, and we've got a higher risk rejection at 45.09, 45.10 with confirmation. And this area's sideways is so difficult to play, so I'll be very wary what areas to take. We're currently at a little area of resistance as well, where we've gone through previously. Yeah, but I think this is the area to watch. 45.85 through to 45.90. That's what I'm watching. Okay, let's go to SPY. Similar to ES, potential bounce here at 442.50, 442.40, so that's a bounce area. Again, need to keep an eye because we are getting close to it now. And when I put these levels in earlier, we were up here, and so it's more higher probability, but now it's getting quite close, so be a bit wary. We've got this area 445, similar to what I discussed, yesterday's high for potential rejection, 445, and then we've got a high probability rejection at 450, this area here, and obviously 451. 451 will be the best area if we can get there. And for a higher probability bounce, down here at 435 through to 434, this area here. So 433, 434, this area here is preferred, but we have got a potential area at 435 as well. So I probably won't want to look at 437. I really want to wait for it to get down to 435. If it does get down there, potentially we could see it come right down. So keep an eye on that. And I think that's it for SPY, very similar. Okay, looking at Qs. So we can see our supply area, so this is our higher probability rejection area up here and up here. So that's 377 to 378 or 380 area. And potentially we've got this bottom here as a bounce, so we could put a bounce in. It's got to be around this area, 369. Yeah, it's going to have to be at 369.50 for potential, 369.20 for a potential bounce. Again, we're getting close to that, so that's higher risk. We may just drive straight through that. Next area will be down here, and that would be 366 as a potential bounce as well. And then we've got the higher risk rejection area at 371 to 372, so that's another potential area to watch. Okay, SPY. We've got oil. Look at that, putting in new highs again. What's this? Yearly highs, or at least it's a week. So these highs, we're breaking highs now from almost a year. Yeah, almost a year ago, October last year. So 10-month highs, 11-month highs, 12-month highs almost. So we're at this daily level we discussed as well, 92.30, 92 area. So potentially looking for a short. That's the weekly. Let's go to the daily. Yeah, we're right on the hour level we've been watching now for quite some time. It's been in place since we were down here back in July, August. So watch for a potential spike and rejection. And we're quite far away from the 8, the 20, the 50 and the 200 moving average. So, and we are due a bit of a pullback. We've had this nice big run up. As you probably know from these previous videos, I'm a bit bitter because I was watching this area here for a break and retest, which I missed there. I'm not sure I would have held it this far, but still a lovely flag pattern there on the daily as well. So, but oil's looking strong, so it's still an uptrend. So remember that it's an uptrend until it's not, and it needs to break that area before we confirm a change of trend. So going to the hourly, where we've touched our areas here. 92.42 is a high. It's the highest it's been for almost 10 months now. So big move today. High volume as well in the pre-market. Not the highest it's been. We've seen higher. We've had higher volume days, but it is high volume, above average volume, and this smaller candle is also above average. In fact, the smaller candle, it's the highest it's been for some time. So potentially we're getting a lot of buyers and sellers at this area, which will make sense because it's at an area of supply as well. So these buyers and sellers, we could see this come back down today. Okay, so let's keep an eye on oil. If I were to take a play, possibly if it breaks below this hourly candle, which is 91.92. So if it breaks below 92, I may be interested in going short, and it's against a trend, so the short would be a scalp short, probably targeting 91.50 area. So that's potential, or even potentially we want to come back to the 50 moving average as well. So we'll see how we go today, but it is looking very strong. Okay, so that's it. There's no other plays. There's no longs. I wouldn't take a long right now. I reluctantly would take a short because it's still in this uptrend. So it'll be a scalp short. And I think that's it. We didn't look at NASDAQ. I always look at MNQ, which is the same as NQ. They're both the same charts. This is the 10 times smaller than the NASDAQ, so I prefer trading this one. And that's looking very similar to the others as well. We've got this area of confluence and this area of support. We've got this area down here and this area here. I'll put my supply and demand zones in shortly. I know I said I'll do that yesterday, but I don't look at NASDAQ too often. And we've got this area for a rejection. So I'll read out the numbers in a sec. So possible bounce area where we are now, 15,300, 15,330, 15,338. Possible, this is a high risk bounce, high risk rejection at 15,440, 15,443. 15,700 for a higher probability rejection, and then we've got obviously down here, we could say this area here, that's the best area. The bottom of those candles, the top of that pivot, tops of this, that's the best I can find. Area convolution or confluence at 15,250. So this is a potential bounce area as well. If it breaks through, obviously volume's tailing off and it gets down here as well. There's not many, I think that area there, and 15,165 as a potential bounce. Again, all these areas will act as break and retest as well, so even though it's a higher risk bounce, it's been downward trending. It could equally be a higher probability break and retest short, and that's the same for all the levels from today. Right, there's 10 minutes to go before the market opens. Hopefully this video has been helpful. If you like it, please hit the like button and tune in again tomorrow at 9 AM Eastern time, where I would go through the levels again. I'll just finish up on today's area. See, we're spiking down now, so I'll be watching for potential long around a high risk long, or a break and retest, what we just discussed. So this is the area I'm watching. We're right in that area now. We'll see what the open does first, because I don't want to get in and then get whipped out straight away and then watch it come down. So okay, have a good day's trading. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next stream tomorrow.